Hey 2020 listeners. Today we've got something special for you from our colleagues at ESPN and 30 for 30. It's the first 2 episodes of a striking new crime series called The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani. What happens when the person you trust most betrays you? That's the question at the heart of this new series. Japanese baseball superstar Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter Ippei Mizuhara were one of the most famous bromances in professional sports. They were seen together nearly all the time, labeled best friends, until it all fell apart because of 19,000 bets, 17 million stolen, and the wild world of sports gambling. It's a story you might have heard about, but it turns out what was reported in the news was just the beginning. Today, we're bringing you episodes 1 and 2 of this 6-episode season. If you want to listen to the rest, search 30 for 30 podcasts or The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you for listening.
Welcome, the 2024 World Series champion, Los Angeles Dodgers!
It's November 2024, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are in their home stadium celebrating their World Series win. The players line up on the podium. Team manager Dave Roberts takes the mic and introduces some of the stars.
Let's hear it! Freddie!
And then he calls out the name everyone's waiting for.
Who wants to hear from Shohei Ohtani?
Shohei Ohtani just finished his first season with the Dodgers. He's a head taller than a lot of his teammates, and he's wearing a T-shirt and backwards ball cap when he gives a shy grin as he takes the mic.
This is so special moment movie.
This is one of the first times that Shohei has spoken publicly in English without an interpreter.
I'm so honored to be here and to be part of this team. Congratulations, Los Angeles. Thank you, fans.
That's all he says, and the crowd absolutely loves it. By any measure, Shohei's first season with the Dodgers was extraordinary.
Here's a 2-1. There's a drive. It's a bullet. Shohei Ohtani arrives in October with a 3-run home run. Ohtani sends one in the air. Back it goes. Gone! One-of-a-kind player. One-of-a-kind season. Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Many believe he could become the best baseball player of all time.
It's really not hyperbole, guys, to say that Shohei Ohtani is the new Babe Ruth.
Ohtani, right field, forget about it. A massive shot. Wow.
It's the kind of success that helps overshadow what happened just months before at the start of this season, when Shohei was caught up in a scandal that could have ended it all.
We're going to turn to the scandal rocking Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani is set to address the media today.
The scandal has the potential to be one of the biggest sports scandals that we've ever seen, certainly one of the biggest baseball scandals that we've ever seen.
Our team at ESPN broke the story. It tied the money of one of the highest paid players in baseball history to a vast illegal sports betting operation. But when it was over, he would walk away, and someone else, someone close to him, would confess to a shocking crime, disappearing in disgrace.
Shohei Ohtani!
And in this moment, at the World Series celebration, you could almost forget it ever happened.
Thank you, fans.
But 2 years later, I still have so many questions. So I'm going to travel the country, chase down leads, and try to understand how one of sports' most complicated friendships detonated into one of the biggest scandals in baseball history.
Here's the pitch to Ohtani.
Possibly the greatest player that's ever played the game.
Generational talent.
Federal investigation.
Questions about wire transfers. $4.5 million to a Southern California bookmaker.
And he has no idea of it.
I'm ESPN investigative reporter Tisha Thompson from 30 for 30 podcasts. This is The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani. Episode 1, The Letter O. I started working on this story a year before Shohei won that World Series, when a source sent me a tip. At first, the tip seemed to have nothing to do with baseball or any sport. It was information from a federal court document, still under seal, a list of items that had been seized from a house in California. It included the kinds of things you might expect from a federal raid: computers, hard drives, and cell phones. But there were also $40,000 Breitling watches, handbags from Chanel, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and casino chips. Lots and lots of casino chips. Why were the feds interested in it? Because all of these things were taken from a house owned by a man named Matt Boyer. The feds also seized a cash counting machine, sports betting records, and receipts for offshore bank wires. And that's when I say to myself, I think Matt Boyer is a bookie, a person who takes bets, pays them out when they win, and collects when they lose. My source confirms it. Matt Boyer is a bookie, but he isn't just any bookie. According to my source, his clients include celebrities, millionaires, and seemingly one of the most famous athletes in the world. When my source tells me the name of that athlete, it's a name so big, so shocking, that all I write down is the letter O.
You tell me the name of the athlete involved and that the feds are involved in an investigation, and that is why we have to be so careful.
This is my editor, Elaine Tang.
We're really worried about putting a rumor out there that then comes back to us as fact. We have to be really careful about going out and saying, like, hey, like, do you think, is Shohei Ohtani gambling with a bookie?
This tip was so potentially damning, we needed to tread really carefully, because it could turn into a very grown-up version of that kids' game, Telephone, where someone whispers something to someone, and then they whisper it to someone else, and by the time it comes back to you, it's totally different from what you said. I couldn't just ask sources questions like, hey, does Shohei gamble? Even if the answer was no, they might tell someone else in the clubhouse that ESPN was asking if Shohei gambled. And then that person says to someone else, hey, I heard Shohei gambles. By the time I call several someones later, that person then says to me, oh yeah, I have heard he gambles. All I have done is confirm a rumor that I started. A rumor about Shohei Ohtani paying millions of dollars to an illegal bookie.
I think it was the amount of money involved as well as the caliber of the athlete that feels really loaded and, extremely damaging if true, right? To the athlete, their reputation, their career.
It's a very serious allegation. I want to learn everything I can about what someone could get themselves into betting with a bookie. So I head to the sports betting epicenter of the country. We are in Las Vegas, baby. I'm in Las Vegas to meet with the reporter I think knows more about bookies and sports betting than anyone else in the business.
What do you think the biggest moneymaker is for the casino?
Penny slots.
That's correct.
This is ESPN's David Purdom. I met him in a casino just off the Vegas Strip. We sit down in a room near the sports book, watching as people place bets.
Do they put the sports book in the back on purpose?
Yes, to make you walk through all the slot machines.
I wanted to talk to Purdom about the tip I received because he has a massive Rolodex of sources in the sports betting world.
Had you ever heard of Matt Boyer before?
Nope, I had not. Never heard of him.
We gave you Matt Boyer's name, and you called sources. You do the David Purdom magic and disappear for 12 hours and came back with info.
Right. I usually you start with your guys that have had this. And when they didn't know, I had to expand. And I did, and found some people that knew of him. And then when we found out that he was coming to Vegas a lot, I talked to people here, and they knew of him.
A source warned Purdom that Boyer was connected to a man with a dangerous reputation. a guy named Owen Hansen, a former USC football player who became known as the Cocaine QB. When I got the original tip, Hansen was in prison for bookmaking and drug trafficking and was rumored to have ties to the cartel.
We had a source who was involved with running money for that group. And he was telling us, be careful, right? Because Owen Hansen was not known as a good person. He was known as a violent person around the betting community. And when there was ties to Boyer, there was concern.
Over the next few weeks, we gathered more sources and confirmed Boyer was running a huge sportsbook operation in Southern California.
Is California more prolific with bookies than other parts of the world?
Massive bookmaking operations in California.
Why?
Because there's no legal sports betting.
Sports betting is now legal in 39 states, plus Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. Depending on where you live, you can place bets through a state-licensed app, a website, or in a casino or a bar in those states. But unless you're betting on a horse race, sports betting in California is illegal. There is no legal way to place a sports bet there, not on DraftKings, not on FanDuel, not in the tribal casinos. So if you live in California and you want to bet on sports, you either have to go somewhere like Vegas or find a bookie, which is, of course, illegal. But there are many reasons why someone might want to use a bookie, even if the state they live in has legal sports betting. Purdom says a big reason is credit.
People want to bet on credit. You don't want to give over your cash. If you can bet on credit, huge advantage. I can just place my bet for $100 and my money never changes hands. You go down $1,000, the guy says, okay, let's meet up at the Waffle House. And you go there and you pass over an envelope, and that's how it's done.
Another reason someone might seek out a bookie is anonymity.
If you are an athlete betting with the DraftKings, there's a chance that we could find it. But if you can be betting with this illegal sportsbook over here, I would not be able to know it.
So Purdom says a celebrity who wants to bet discreetly might use a bookie. When I told him that Shohei Ohtani was the athlete my source told me might be involved with Matt Boyer,
I was stunned. I remember when you relayed the message to me who the athlete was, I was like, oh my gosh, I believe I cursed.
Why is sports betting such a sensitive topic for Major League Baseball?
Well, you start with the Black Sox. Way back at the beginning of the century, the Chicago White Sox, several players of them got engaged with some criminals, and they allegedly agreed to throw a World Series.
Major League Baseball banned 8 players from the Chicago White Sox for life. And after that scandal, the league created a set of rules about betting on sports. It forbids players, coaches, and staff from using a bookie, and you may never bet on baseball.
So that was the big one. The next time you get some sort of betting scandal is Pete Rose.
Number 4,192 makes Pete Rose the all-time Major League Baseball hit leader. It comes
all-time hits leader. He eventually admitted to betting on the game of baseball.
I was wrong. I just stupid. Worst thing I ever did in my life.
In 1989, MLB punished Pete Rose with a lifetime ban for betting on baseball. Pete Rose was one of the greatest ball players of his generation. He holds records that have never been broken. But all of his feats on the field have been overshadowed by what he did off the field. Could Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player of his generation, be the next Pete Rose?
If they were to have found out that he was betting on baseball, he would have been banned for life. And this is your biggest star, banned for life.
Part of what made the allegation so shocking was how Shohei Ohtani had a reputation for being squeaky clean. Before this, there's never been a whisper of a scandal attached to his name, which makes it all the more surprising to hear allegations that he might be tied to a bookie with dangerous connections. But we realized we don't actually know all that much about Shohei's life outside of baseball.
He is the most guarded and protected athlete that I think I've ever been around.
This is ESPN's Tim Kewen. Tim specializes in writing profiles of the most famous and oftentimes controversial names in sports. People like Barry Bonds, Aaron Rodgers, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Tim says he's been trying to decipher the enigma that is Shohei Ohtani ever since he first arrived here in the United States.
When he came here, I first started observing him, knowing that I was going to have to observe him to write about him rather than talk to him, because it was established early on that it was a dead end. He will only take questions about the game, and very few, 3, maybe 4 in each language. And these are in like bit questions. I want to know, like, you just threw 117 pitches. What do you feel today? And he just doesn't entertain those. He's just not built that way.
Tim says most of what you know about Shohei is limited to what Shohei is willing to tell you, and it rarely leaves the realm of the ballpark. And when it does, it's on Shohei's terms. Like when he got married, people didn't even know Shohei was in a relationship until he posted about his wife on Instagram.
He has lots of titles, MVP, gazillionaire, superstar, but husband had eluded him until now, and he made the announcement, where else but on social media, that reads, not only have I begun a new chapter in my career with the Dodgers, but I also have begun a new life with someone from my native country of Japan who is very special to me, and I wanted everyone to know I am now married.
Shohei's teammates and even Dodgers manager Dave Roberts didn't know about it.
I felt like it was a good timing because it's before the season. I didn't want really any distractions once the season started.
I think there is the sort of the aura, right? Like, just leave him alone to do what he does, because the distractions are not something he's interested in. He's not interested in talking to me, to be honest. He does it as an obligation after he pitches. If he hits 2 home runs in a game, he'll stand there and answer questions in the most anodyne way possible.
Are you nervous at all playing in the postseason for the first time?
Nope.
But the league, the teams, and the fans don't seem to mind not knowing much about Shohei's life off the field, because what's happening on the field is record-breaking.
Another strikeout.
He's really challenged our idea of limits, because he has shown his talent to be limitless. He does the 2 things that excite baseball people more than anything else.
Ohtani deals. That's a called strike 3.
He can throw a baseball over 100 miles an hour, and he can hit a ball 500 feet.
Up and over the roof.
It's like the 2 headline acts of baseball. He is among the best in the world at both, if not the best.
And there goes Ohtani. It's a leadoff home run after he struck out 3 in the top of the first.
He is a dream for Major League Baseball.
And the Dodgers rewarded him in the fall of 2023 with a record-breaking contract.
It is the announcement that took the baseball world by storm today.
$700 million over 10 years.
Oh, my goodness! Come on!
One of the league's premier franchises made a historic bet on Shohei because they knew his success would be their success. They stood to make a lot of money, too. Ticket sales, merchandise, partnerships. Shohei's success could pay off big time for the Dodgers and MLB. Shohei himself makes more than $125 million in endorsements a year, with much of that money coming from advertisements in Japan.
When I was there, I was shocked by, you could literally not walk more than 2 blocks in Tokyo without seeing his face on something, whether it was a green tea or a water, sports drink, or Hugo Boss or something. I mean, everywhere is Ohtani.
After touching down in Tokyo, it's easy to see Ohtani mania is really a thing.
Everyone in Japan is by default a Shohei fan.
The appetite for Ohtani, the love for Ohtani, appears to be as limitless as his talent.
If Shohei's reputation takes a hit, it wouldn't just tarnish his name. It would have devastating consequences for the Dodgers, for Major League Baseball, and for Japan. When you were first told that Ohtani might be involved in some kind of betting scandal, what was your initial reaction?
Shock combined with sort of a reassessment of everything I had seen leading up to that, plus another layer of like, who knows?
I'd been investigating this tip for 2 months when in January 2024, a source tells me to look at a different player who may be a critical link. David Fletcher was an infielder for the Los Angeles Angels. He and Shohei played together for 6 seasons, and Tim tells me it was widely known that they were friends.
They played bumper pool together and they played Clash of Clans, and it was just this sort of, buddy comedy, this little white guy and this big Japanese guy buddying around.
Fletcher's social media shows he is an avid poker player.
I don't think he broadcast it, but I don't think he hit it.
And his love of poker would end up being vital to our investigation. When I call him in January, Fletcher admits to me he knows Matt Boyer. They had golfed together, but he wouldn't call them friends. Fletcher tells me he heard that Boyer might be a bookie, but he insists he's never bet with Boyer. Worried about spreading a rumor, I don't ask if Boyer is Shohei's bookie. I don't ask anything about Shohei. By this point, I've developed more sources, and I learned there is a paper trail that connects Shohei Ohtani to Matt Boyer. And I've tracked down a source who has that proof. But they're nervous, and it takes weeks before the source agrees to show it to me, and they're not going to make it easy. It's the middle of the night. I'm driving to meet my contact. I find them standing outside of a car in a parking lot waiting for me. I drop into the passenger seat. The contact hands me a cell phone and tells me the proof I want will appear on an encrypted app, and each image will disappear in 30 seconds. I can't take pictures, but I can take notes. I pull out my notebook and I tell my contact, I'm ready. A document appears on the screen, September 14th, 2023, $500,000. I spot the word loan and scribble it down in my notebook, but I don't have time to ask questions because the second document appears, October 2nd, 2023, $500,000. Both documents include the same long list of numbers on the screen. Later, after I drive away, I will stare at the jumble of letters and numbers I scribbled into my notebook, and I'll realize it's routing information. I just saw wire transfers from a bank account at Bank of America, and there's a name attached to the account, Shohei Ohtani. According to the screenshots I just saw, Shohei Ohtani's bank account sent wire transfers to Matt Boyer's illegal bookmaking operation. I saw 2 of them, totaling $1 million. I've got it, the direct link between Shohei and the bookie's operation. But before I can even begin to wrap my head around what I've seen, a source reaches out with new information and a new name.
Interpreter Ippei Mizuhara.
Ippei Mizuhara, Shohei's interpreter for the past 6 years. The source tells me Ippei is prepared to say he was the one gambling and that Shohei was paying his debts. If there's someone we know even less about than Shohei Ohtani, it's Ippei Mizuhara, Shohei's interpreter. His biography provided by the Los Angeles Angels says Ippei was born in Japan but grew up in Southern California. Before he joined the Angels, Ippei worked in Japan for the Nippon Ham Fighters baseball team as an interpreter for American players, and that's where he met Shohei. And when Shohei signed with the Angels in December of 2017, he brought Ippei along with him as his interpreter.
I want to talk about not why I joined the Angels, but I want you guys to see me trying to adjust with the team throughout the spring training, and maybe I think you guys will find out why I chose the Angels. That it was the right choice.
Ever since they arrived in the States, Shohei and Ippei are always together, with Ippei seemingly just a few steps behind Shohei at all times. And Ippei does a lot more than just translate. Ippei carries Shohei's gear. When Shohei needs a ride, Ippei drives him. When Shohei warms up for a game, he doesn't use a pitching coach, he throws to Ippei. When Shohei competed in the 2021 MLB Home Run Derby, he chose Ippei to be his catcher.
What a fun moment that's going to be for him.
And hopefully he's not having to catch too much, because hopefully
they walk red carpets together. Teammates and others have even wondered if the two men live together, but they've never confirmed it.
Your day in the life with Shohei, I mean, what do you guys do throughout the day before you even get here to the ballpark?
We'll eat breakfast every day at the hotel, if we're on the road. If not at home, then that's pretty much it.
It got to the point where, I wondered, how could you spend that much time with one person?
When my colleague Tim Kuhn began to watch Shohei and Ippei off the field, it was clear to him that Ippei was different from other interpreters.
To call him an interpreter is almost laughable because that was almost the least important part of his job. And the routine was always the same, where Shohei would walk out onto the field and Ippei was like 2.5 to 3 steps behind. It was like it almost felt like a choreographed thing, the way they went about it. The only time that Shohei seemed to be by himself, at least at the baseball field, was when he was in the batter's box or on the mound.
They appeared to be extremely close.
There was no Ippei without Shohei. It manifested itself in me by going to players and saying, does it ever occur to you that these guys get sick of each other?
The source told me they thought Ippei might be taking the fall for Shohei, but I didn't know what to think.
The walls were so thick and so impenetrable that, anything seemed possible, right?
We didn't quite know what to make of the Ippei connection.
My editor Elaine and I spent weeks investigating the possibilities.
Whether it was himself, whether he was a cover for Ohtani, whether he was making the bets on Ohtani's behalf. We didn't know if it was a cover-up. We didn't know the truth.
But there are two people who we thought would know the truth. Shohei Ohtani and Ippei Mizuhara. By March 2024, I've been working on this for 5 months, and we've collected enough information to go to Shohei's agent. In an email, I tell him, I have sources who have told us about Shohei Ohtani's involvement with Matt Boyer. I purposefully don't tell him that I know Matt Boyer is a bookie or that I've heard Ippei's name. I want to see what their response will be. Two hours later, I get a call from a publicist named Matt Hiltzik. He tells me he specializes in what's called crisis communication, and Shohei's agent has just brought him on to represent Shohei. Some of Hiltzik's clients have included Hillary Clinton and Ivanka Trump, Brad Pitt, Alec Baldwin, and Johnny Depp. When I tell him about the wire transfers that I saw, Hiltzik says he needs to call me back. As I wait, I wonder, will they try to deny it? Will they threaten us with defamation? Or will they admit it? My phone rings again a few hours later. Hiltzik says, you're going to get a really good fucking story. You're going to get the truth about what happened. And then he confirms it. It's true. Shohei's bank account wired millions of dollars to Boyer's operation. But he tells me someone else did the bets. Shohei was covering for someone else, he says, someone important to his life. I tell him, I have sources that tell me it's Ippei. He says, you have good sources. I tell him I want to interview Shohei Ohtani. He says, maybe. I have to see. But I can give you someone else.
I'm Ippei Mizuhara, and you do have permission to record me.
That's next on The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani. Economists and bettors talk about something called the black swan, an event or a series of events that's so rare, so unpredictable, no one would bet on it happening. March 19th, 2024 was my black swan, because the story we had been working on for 5 months would suddenly change over the next 24 hours. twisting and turning in ways I could never have expected, and for reasons I'm still trying to understand. I had seen wire transfers that showed a bank account in Shohei Ohtani's name had wired millions to an illegal bookmaking operation. And Shohei's spokesperson confirmed it. But he told me that Shohei wasn't the one gambling. He says it was his interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara. Shohei was just paying off Ippei's debts. And now Shohei's team has offered me an interview with someone they said would clear this all up.
All right. This is Tisha Thompson. I am recording this call. Go ahead and tell me who you are, and do I have permission to record you?
Yes, Mom. I'm Ippei Mizuhara, and you do have permission to record me.
I've never talked to Ippei before, but I instantly recognize his voice. It's the voice of Shohei Ohtani. Whenever Shohei talks to reporters in Japanese, it's Ippei who translates his words into English. I've been warned by ESPN's baseball reporters that Ippei doesn't say much. I'm not sure he'll give me anything more than a prepared statement, and I don't know how much time I'll get with him. But I've been investigating this story for 5 months, and I have a lot of questions about how Shohei and his money got tied up in all of this, what Ippei's role was, and I wonder if what Ippei tells me will hold up to my line of questioning. I reach Ippei in South Korea. He's in Seoul with the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are set to play the San Diego Padres in just a few hours. It's the opening game of the MLB season.
All right, Ippei. What I would like to do is have you tell me your story in your words.
Okay. Okay.
Shohei Ohtani is about to play his first regular season game in a Dodgers jersey, and he will deliver. He'll get his first hit, his first steal, his first RBI for the Dodgers. But that will not be the top headline tomorrow, because his interpreter is about to steal the show.
Here's the pitch to Ohtani.
I'm ESPN investigative reporter Tisha Thompson. From 30 for 30 podcasts, this is The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani. Episode 2, The Interview. I'm the only reporter Ippei ever spoke to about this story. It's now been more than 2 years since we had this call, and every time I listen to it, I hear it differently. When the interview starts, my first goal is to get an understanding of how the bookie at the center of this story, Matt Boyer, came into the picture. By now, I've confirmed that Boyer is under federal investigation, and the wire transfers I saw, the ones with Shohei's name on them, went to Boyer's operation.
So what I'm going to do is start at what I think is the beginning. Can you tell me how you met Matt Boyer?
Yes. So I met him at a local poker game. He knew I was Shohei's interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of approached me saying like he's like a fan.
Okay. Did he tell you what he did for a living?
He told me that he has a sports book.
A sports book is just a place that takes sports bets. It can be a brick and mortar building or an app or a website. Ippei tells me he'd bet in Las Vegas sports books in the past, and he was betting once in a while on DraftKings. He says he didn't realize that Boyer's sports book was different, that it was illegal.
I thought it was legal this whole time.
Okay.
And once I found out that there's a federal investigation going, which was 2-3 days ago, that's when I first found out, and I was pretty shocked to hear that.
So when you started your account, did you have to give like a credit card or put some cash in or anything like that?
No, he had a credit line set up for me.
Ippei is telling me that when he logged onto his account with Boyer, there was already credit there for him to use. A legal sportsbook will never give gamblers credit up front. That's one of the main draws for an illegal sportsbook. No money down.
Did that raise a red flag for you?
Fortunately, it didn't at the time.
Okay. What did you bet on? What were you betting on?
I bet on some football, basketball, soccer, not baseball. I never bet on baseball, overseas, domestic, anything. That's 100%. I knew that. I knew that rule.
You did, and that rule being which rule? Which rule?
Not to bet on baseball.
Who told you that?
We have like a meeting about that in spring training.
Okay.
Pretty much saying don't bet on baseball ever, but it was okay to bet on other sports other than baseball. Was my understanding.
This tracks with Major League Baseball's rules on sports betting. Players and team employees can bet on sports, but they may not bet on baseball, and they cannot use a bookie.
Did anyone ever tell you that you couldn't use a bookmaker?
I don't fully recall.
But Ippei says once he met the bookie, he began to rack up millions of dollars in debt.
Why were you doing this? What was it doing for you?
Okay. Okay, so at the time, I couldn't share this with Shohei, but it was hard for me to make like my ends meet. I was kind of going paycheck to paycheck because I kind of had to keep up with his lifestyle. But at the same time, I didn't want to tell him this. Obviously, it ended up being the worst case scenario, but I didn't want to go to help. I didn't want to go to him for help financially, stuff like that. So I was just trying to make ends meet on my side, and I was in debt a little bit and stuff with other, like my parents and some friends, and the time that gambling, the fact that he said he's going to give me some credit, I felt like I had a chance to kind of make some money back, and just got lured into the worst situation.
I'm wondering if this response might be rehearsed. It feels like a clean answer that just came pouring out of Ippei in one go. Before this, the most we had ever heard him speak was when he interpreted Shohei's words. He rarely ever spoke about himself.
I'm curious. You were talking about how, you couldn't keep up with Shohei's lifestyle. You didn't tell him that, but you couldn't do it. How much do you make each year?
At the time, I was making about $85,000 a year.
This is 2021-ish.
Yes.
Okay. Did you start to make more than that over the next couple of months or years?
Well, now with the Dodgers, I am making more money. And last year with the Angels, they gave me a pretty good raise.
Okay. I have been told you make roughly $300,000.
Is this going to go out on the story?
I've had someone tell me it's $300,000. If that is incorrect, I want to know.
Okay. Well, my new deal with the Dodgers is a little bit more than that.
Okay. Is it more than $500,000?
No.
Okay.
Back in 2021, with his $85,000 a year salary, Ippei says it was tough to make ends meet. So when Boyer's Sportsbook offered him credit, he says it seemed like a chance to make some money.
So did it go bad quickly, or did you win some money?
I never cashed out. I'm terrible. I'm never going to do it ever again. I never won any money from there.
You really?
And I just kept on losing, and I just kept on digging a deeper hole. And just couldn't get out of it.
Did you tell anyone?
No, I did not.
Why?
mainly it was just embarrassing. And
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, my wife doesn't even know about any of this until even right now.
Okay.
She's with us in Korea right now, and she's like having a great time with like Shohei's family. And my heart's just like ripping apart every minute. Like,
yeah.
And she noticed that I'm like weird, acting weird, and like, just can't like tell her right now. It's gonna ruin the whole trip. And
Ippei pauses, and another voice jumps into the conversation. His name is Matt Hiltzik. He's Shohei Ohtani's spokesperson, and he's been listening in on this call the whole time. When he speaks up here, he tells Ippei, "We're all here for you, and we're all going to help you." He says, "We care about you as a person." As he continues to reassure Ippei, I wonder if he is talking to Ippei or if this speech is actually meant for me. Because the spokesperson was hired to protect Shohei and Shohei's reputation. He doesn't represent Ippei or Ippei's interests. He tells Ippei, "We just want the truth." When he stops talking, I take my cue to continue.
How much do you estimate you lost overall with Boyer's operation?
That's one thing that I would like to keep disclosed if possible. Because I mean, it's really embarrassing if the amount gets out, and if possible, I would like to keep it disclosed.
I had seen the wires showing that Shohei Ohtani's bank account had sent money to the bookie's operation. Multiple sources have told me at least $4.5 million left Shohei's account. But I've heard it could be a lot more, maybe as much as $16 million.
I have sourcing that says that Boyer's operation was paid at least $4.5 million. What is your response to that?
I would say that is pretty accurate.
Okay. Is it more than that?
I don't think so.
Okay. For people who have never been in this place, how do you get to $4.5 million? Is it because you keep hoping, for instance, that the next bet is going to bail you out? Or, for someone who doesn't know what it's like, how do you get to $4.5 million?
I dug myself a hole and kept on getting bigger, and it's meant I had to bet bigger to get out of it, and just kept on losing, and it's like a snowball effect.
How did you start paying him back?
So that's when I had to go to Shohei for help.
Ippei is about to explain why the money was coming from Shohei's bank account, even though Ippei is the one gambling. By 2023, Ippei had racked up millions of dollars in debt, and to pay off those debts, he says he goes to Shohei.
How did that go down?
I explained my situation, what's going on, and why I'm in this much of a debt. And obviously, he wasn't happy about it, but he said he would help me out, make sure I never do this again. And that's pretty much what happened. And he decided to pay it off for me.
Did he offer or did you ask?
I asked.
How do you ask someone? It's been characterized to me that the two of you are best friends, that you were as close as brothers. How would you characterize your relationship with him?
I guess best friends, I mean, we are like brothers. I mean, we're with each other every day.
Yeah.
Spend more time with him than my wife, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he is like a family to me.
Yeah.
Ippei and Shohei were always around each other. There seemed to be a genuine closeness between them. Tim saw it, others did too. And now, Ippei says they really are that close.
Was it hard to come to him, or was it easy because you are so close?
Extremely hard.
Yeah.
I didn't want, like, that was the last thing I wanted to. I mean, initially, I didn't want to go to him about making my ends meet, and this was on another level, so it was really, really difficult.
Were you frightened?
Yes.
In that moment when you went to him, what were you afraid of?
Afraid that, I mean, a lot of things. I mean, the trust that we built up, afraid that might go away. I mean, he might think of me differently, stuff like that.
Were you afraid for your safety or anything like that?
Safety?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I was. But I was because I was in that much debt. I didn't know, someone's going to, like, come to my house one day. Like, I had those kind of thoughts, too.
I'm intrigued by Ippei's response. His initial fear is what his debt will do to his relationship with Shohei. But when I bring up his safety, he says, yes, he was afraid. But he's told me he thought this was a legal sports book. So why would he be afraid? Legal sports books don't come knocking at your door to collect their debts.
So I would like to get into the specifics of what Shohei offered you when you told him you were in trouble. You said you asked him for help. I mean, did you ask him for money?
I asked him if he could pay my debt off. He had to give us some thought.
Had he ever gambled himself, as far as you're aware?
Gambled. Never. I can guarantee, I put my life on the line, that he's never placed any sports bets ever in his life.
Ippei says Shohei would even talk about how much he disliked gambling.
He thinks gambling is terrible, and obviously he doesn't need the money.
How do you know he thinks gambling is terrible?
He sees people, our teammates would be gambling all the time, and he'll be like, why are they doing this? Like, gambling is not good.
When he would make comments like that, how would that make you feel internally?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. So that makes it even harder to go to him, I would imagine.
Yeah, it feels very hard to go to him.
You said he went to go think about it. So what does he come back to you with? Like, walk me through that conversation.
So the next time I see him, he says, all right, I'm just going to pay this all off for you. Make sure, you don't ever get into this shit again. I mean, that was basically it. It was pretty, short and simple.
Did you discuss how to pay it off?
Yeah, he asked me, how, what do I need to do? And I got in the wire information for, because it's Boyer's account.
Did you reach out to Boyer to get it?
Yeah.
I'm getting really granular here because I want to know exactly, step by step, what the process was that led to those wire transfers. If what Ippei's saying is true, what role did Shohei play in sending money to an illegal bookie?
So did you send him a text message? Was it an email? Did he send it to you? How does this work?
I think he texted me his wire info.
So you turn around and say to Shohei, here's the wire transfer information?
Mm-hmm.
Do you show it to him on your phone? Do you text it to him? Do you do it for him? Like, how does that go?
I did it on his behalf.
Okay.
Supervision.
So do you have access to his bank account?
No, I don't.
Okay. So when you say you did it on his behalf, explain to me how that works.
He was with me. I was with him on his laptop or computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he could log in online banking and send a wire.
Ippei says Shohei knew about the wires. He says that they sent them together. My adrenaline is pumping. If that's true, he's just put Shohei's fingerprints on the transaction. It wasn't just that the money was coming from Shohei's account. Ippei says Shohei was involved. By telling me this, by admitting this, he's directly implicating Shohei in sending millions to an illegal bookmaking operation that's under investigation for money laundering. I'm wondering, does Ippei realize what he just said? When an investigative reporter reaches out about a story that connects a celebrity to potential scandal, it usually kicks off a careful PR response. But here is Ippei, possibly implicating Shohei in something that could jeopardize his career. Was this the plan? Is he going off script? Has my line of questioning forced him to reveal something he didn't mean to? Because the spokesperson doesn't intervene. So I keep going.
What was his understanding of who Boyer was? Did he know that Matt was a bookie?
I don't think he had any clue who he was or what he did. I just told him that this is the guy that I need to send the wire to pay off the debt.
He didn't say, have you done anything illegal or anything like that?
No, I don't think he questioned me about that.
One of the things that we know about the transfers is that it says loan on them, and I'm curious why it says loan.
We had to add a description for the wire.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matt might have told me to just put loan or you had to put something there.
If you wire a real loan to someone, you don't pay income taxes on it. But if you lie about it and it's not actually a loan, you're potentially committing tax fraud.
I would be interested in seeing any kind of text messages or communications from Matt.
I deleted every text I had with Matt.
Up until this point, I've let Ippei tell me his story in his words. I haven't really pushed back on what he says for a reason. I wanted to see where he would go with it. But now I need to challenge some of what he's told me.
So, and forgive me for this, Ippei. This is a lot of money. You tell him you're in trouble. You know it's for gambling. You really didn't sit there and think about whether this was legal or not?
Me? Myself?
Yeah.
That never really crossed my mind ever that this was like illegal at all. Until a couple of days ago when I found out that there was an investigation going on.
Okay. Did you think at any point by asking Shohei to pay your debt that he would potentially be he would be putting himself, frankly, in the situation we're in right now, where there would be questions about legality?
I don't think either of us didn't think about that at the time at all.
Do you have the kind of relationship where he does things without questioning it?
The spokesperson jumps in here. He says to Ippei, he wasn't happy with you, right?
No. Yeah, he was definitely not happy.
Ippei tells me Boyer wanted the money in a lump sum, but they could only send the wires in $500,000 installments. He says he and Shohei sent about 8 or 9 payments over the course of several months in 2023. That matches what my sources have told me.
After you tell him about your situation and he begins to make these payments on your behalf, did it or how did it change your relationship with him?
Honestly, to be honest, in the beginning, I felt really uncomfortable. It was hard to see him. But the nice guy he's a great guy. And he just pretty much, he went on his life like nothing ever happened.
Shohei going on with his life in 2023 equated to hitting 44 home runs and earning the MVP award in the American League. And now Ippei is telling me that all that time, he and Shohei found the time to sit down together and secretly wire millions of dollars to Boyer's operation.
I felt like maybe after a few weeks, a month, our relationship got back to where it was before. I mean, for me, I felt really uncomfortable for the first few weeks, and really, really guilty, and felt terrible. But I mean, he kind of helped that go away.
But you had to keep making these payments.
Yes.
Did you have to keep having this conversation?
But he knew the whole amount, and he knew that we had to make several payments because you couldn't send more than $500,000 at a time. So it wasn't like I asked him every week, oh, sorry, this came up again. It wasn't like that.
How was it?
I told, in the beginning when I told him, this is how much I'm in debt. And that was the whole amount. So he knew that he had to pay that whole amount off for me. It was going to be an increment.
So would you go to him and remind him? Would he just do it of his own volition?
No, I would do it with him every time.
And it just became normal. It wasn't awkward like it was in the beginning. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Okay. For me, I felt bad every time.
You're right.
With the wiring, but yeah.
But he didn't make a big deal out of it.
No.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Explain to me how that made you feel.
I mean, very appreciative, obviously, but at the same time, just felt really, really like a super guilt trip, really guilty, terrible about it. And I mean, ever since that day, it's always in the back of my mind. It's haunting me every day. I always think about it. It's always there in my head, and I don't know if it'll ever go away.
Did you offer to ever pay him back? Or was this, I'm going to pay this and we're cool? Or did you say, no, let me try to pay some of this back?
No, I'm going to pay him back. I told him I'm going to pay him back. It might take a while, but I told him even if he says no or anything, I'm going to make all the effort to pay him back.
What's really important to me is that I understand correctly about why Shohei would pay an illegal bookmaker directly from his bank account and call it a loan rather than just giving money to you, Ippei, to pay off your debts.
So, we didn't know that this was illegal, first of all. I think that's very important. And he didn't want me to give the money to me, and he didn't want me to try to gamble it off again. So he wanted to make sure it's going back to the debt.
Like my source had predicted, Ippei is taking the blame. He says he was the gambler, and he asked Shohei to pay off his debts. But there's a critical question that I've been building to here, which is simply, why should I believe you, Ippei?
One of the things that's been said to me is that Ohtani owes Boyer money. And I want to understand why it would be characterized that way to me.
I would have no idea why anyone would say that.
His name is on the bank statements. His name's on the wires.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's going to be people wondering, is it Ohtani who did it, and you're taking the fall for him?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give you a chance to respond to that.
The spokesperson jumps in before Ippei can say anything. He tells me Ippei has already answered the question, that he spent the last hour sharing his story. But I push back.
No, I know, but I want to give Ippei a chance to respond to that criticism. You know, I'm anticipating, oh, he's just taking the fall for Ohtani. So what would you say to someone who would accuse you of that?
Well, Shohei never, ever met Matt Boyer, never talked to him. So there would be no way that Shohei could have, been doing this on his own or anything. And it was all me. And it's 100% truth. And all Shohei did was pay it all for me. And there's not much more than that.
So was there any kind of conversation between the two of you that, his name is now going to be on these wire transfers? He's now connected. You see where I'm getting? He's connected to this now. His name, whether it's legal or not, his name is now connected to someone that you owe money to. And he's going to get pulled into this now. Was there really no conversation oh, now your name's attached to this?
It really wasn't, because, like I said earlier, we didn't know this was illegal. We thought it was 100% legal. And we didn't really think about, what troubles with his name being involved in this. But obviously, if I knew this was illegal, then I would never put Shohei's name into any of this.
This is when the spokesperson interjects again, this time telling me, there's no cover-up. I never said the word cover-up, but the spokesperson doubles down, saying, if people say this is just a cover-up, it's the worst cover-up in history.
You're denying there's any kind of cover-up here.
There's absolutely no cover-up.
Okay.
At all.
What was your gut level, fundamental reaction when you learned that Matt was under investigation?
I was just scared more than anything. I still am at this moment, but that's about it.
What are you scared about at this moment?
Well, when the story goes out, the reactions to the story is what I'm afraid of.
That's what you're afraid of, the media, not necessarily the federal investigators or something like that.
Well, I'm not too sure what's going on with the whole federal investigation thing. I just know that there is an investigation. I don't know any more details.
Has anyone reached out to you from the federal government?
No, never.
Has anyone reached out to Shohei about these bank transfers from the federal government?
No, not that I'm aware of. And she would tell me if someone did.
We've now been talking for about 80 minutes, and the spokesperson is interrupting more and more. I can feel that my time is running out, and I'm worried he's going to try to end the interview.
I'm getting very close to the end, guys, because I know you're watching the clock. Just bear with me. I'm going through my notes.
I can.
Go, yeah.
I have time tomorrow to talk, or tonight after the game.
Ippei thinks we're going to have the chance to talk again. He and I seem to have a very different understanding of the gravity of what he's told me. I think he's going to be fired. He may be in even more trouble. I don't know. Either way, I don't think they're ever going to let me talk to him again.
What have I not asked you that you think is really important that people understand, that you want folks to know?
I want everyone to know that Shohei had zero involvement in the betting. I want to make that clear. And I want people to know that I did not know this was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I'm learned my lesson in a very hard way, and I take it to the heart. I take it to my heart, and I will never, ever do sports betting ever again.
Never do sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared to face the consequences if baseball, and when I say baseball, I mean the Dodgers or Major League Baseball, decides to take action?
Yes, I'm fully prepared to face any and all consequences.
After I hang up with Ippei, I begin to type out my story. Ippei Mizuhara says he lost millions of dollars in bets with an illegal bookmaker, and his best friend Shohei Ohtani, someone he says he is closer to than a brother, offered to pay off his debts. At least, that's what the article was going to say. A few hours after I get off the phone with Ippei, the opening day game of the 2024 MLB season gets underway.
So, please welcome to the field the staff, coaches, and reserves for the Los Angeles Dodgers and San Diego Padres.
The Dodgers versus the Padres. The two American teams are at Go Chuk Skydome in Seoul, South Korea.
A little morning baseball back in the United States, evening here in Seoul.
I'm watching the game on my laptop while I work on my story. All eyes are on Shohei.
Batting second, the designated hitter, number 17, Shohei Ohtani.
But at this moment, I don't really care about what's happening on the field. I'm waiting for the cameras to cut away to the dugout. Waiting, watching for Ippei. What does he look like? Is he tired? Because I'm exhausted. I never went to bed, and it's now 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Will he look stressed? Will Shohei be able to look him in the eye? Because Ippei's made a mess, and now Shohei and his people are going to have to clean it up.
And here is Shohei Ohtani for the first time in a Los Angeles Dodger uniform.
Ippei has just confessed to an ESPN reporter that he racked up millions of dollars of debt betting on sports, and that he and Shohei sent money to an illegal bookmaking operation. In just a couple of hours, we're planning to publish my article that will reveal both of these things to the world. But instead of looking like two men who are in trouble, and whose relationship I would think would be under considerable stress, they're laughing. Standing next to each other in the dugout, watching the game, Shohei and Ippei are laughing together. Very little surprises me these days. But that, the two of them laughing, I was stunned.
And the Dodgers win game one of this.
The Dodgers beat the Padres 5-2. As the team walks off the field into the locker room, we're in the final stages of putting our story together. But less than 15 minutes before we're set to publish, I get a call from Shohei's spokesperson, Matt Hiltzik. When I pick up, he shouts into the phone, Ippei lied. Matt Hiltzik is freaking out in a way I've never before experienced in my career. He's frantic, telling me that Shohei just now learned about the transfers from his account, just now, in the locker room. He says Shohei had no idea Ippei was using his money to pay off the debts, and that the whole thing was a lie. He says he's still trying to figure out what happened, and hangs up. Not long after, I get a statement from Ohtani's lawyers. It says, in the course of responding to recent media inquiries, we discovered that Shohei has been the victim of a massive theft, and we are turning the matter over to the authorities. I call Ippei. I don't record it. Everything is moving too fast. I read him the statement, and he confirms it, but won't say anything more. Ippei, I say, did you lie to me last night in some of your statements? Yes. I'm worried he'll hang up, and I need clear answers. So I jump into a set of yes or no questions. Did Shohei transfer funds to the bookmaking operation? No. Did Shohei know the funds were being transferred? No. Did you tell Shohei about the gambling debts and wiring the money? No. Did you offer to pay him back? Yes. When? As soon as I can. I ask, today or in the past? Ippei says, I told him today and the past. I'd been told by Shohei's team that he only learned just now that Ippei took his money, but Ippei's saying he had offered to pay it back in the past. So I start to ask him, when did Shohei learn his money was missing? But Ippei interrupts me. They told me I can't answer anything. Who is they? He doesn't answer. Is it Ohtani's people? He doesn't answer. I ask him if he's being paid or getting any kind of deal to say this. He says no, he's doing it of his own free will. Are you employed with the Dodgers? He tells me he's not sure. Then I ask, did you lie to Shohei? Ippei says, yes. Throughout the call, I can hear a voice talking, I think to him. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. I don't know if it was his wife, Shohei's agent, or someone else. When I ask, are you being accused of stealing or embezzling from Shohei? Ippei interrupts. I was also told I can't comment on that part. I ask, have you told your family? He says, I don't want to talk about my family. We hang up. I call my editors. As we drop these new quotes into the story, I text Ippei with one final question. Did you take the money from Shohei's accounts without his knowledge? Ippei never responds.
The Dodgers have fired the interpreter for Shohei Ohtani.
Mizuhara allegedly placed wagers with an illegal sports book in California.
Accused of racking up millions of dollars in illegal gambling debts.
And claims Ohtani had no knowledge of his gambling debts or transfers.
It's certainly not the good look now that Ohtani would like.
The scandal now rocking the sport.
So how in the world does someone just transfer $4.5 million of his money and he has no idea of it?
Why did the story change so drastically? My sources first told me Shohei's bank account was sending money to a bookie. But then Ippei said he was the one gambling. Shohei was just helping him pay his debts. And now it's changed again. It was all Ippei. Ippei placed the bets and somehow accessed Shohei's bank account to pay off the bookie. And Shohei knew nothing about it. Who really is Ippei? Ippei says he and Shohei were closer than brothers, always together. And so in this moment, people were asking, is it really possible that Shohei didn't know what was going on?
You know where your money's at? I know where my money's at. That's all I can say.
Either Shohei was betrayed by his best friend, or he threw his best friend under the bus.
This season, on the Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani.
Everyone wants every little bit of Shohei Ohtani, and Ippei was part of him. Part of the Shohei Ohtani deal was Ippei.
I was shocked to see this person bet over 19,000 sports events. I mean, even if I wanted to, I couldn't do that many bets.
I was pissed. It was definitely
manipulation from the get-go.
It painted a really shocking picture of one person abusing the trust of another person.
Ohtani on the run. Ball one down, and Ohtani has another stolen base.
The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani is based on reporting by me, Tisha Thompson, with support from Tim Kewen and the ESPN Investigative Unit. Our producer is Carrie Ann Thomas. Our senior producer is Max Green. Our senior editorial producer is Preeti Varathan. Our associate producer is Gus Navarro. Story editing by Audrey Quinn, Elaine Tang, Eric Neal, and Mike Drago. Additional editing by Rebecca Hudson. Our archival producer is Jennifer Wheelock. Our line producer is Catherine Sankey. Production managers are Jason Schwartz and Sheena Williams. Fact-checking by John Master-Berardino with David Sabino. Additional editorial review from Masa Niwa. Original music by Allison Leighton Brown and John Delore. Sound design by John Delore. Chris Buckle is Vice President of ESPN Investigative Enterprise and Digital Journalism. Marcia Cook, Brian Lockhart, Heather Anderson, and Burke Magnus are executive producers for 30 for 30. David Roberts, Mike Foss, and Roxana Scott are executive producers for ESPN.